Hello, everyone. It's the Tell and Grow Your Business Show, and I'm Mutiat Adebowale. On the show today, I've got a transformational coach. I've got a coach who helps with a lot of transformation in your life. As usual, we know we have so many business owners, distinguished business owners, who've walked the journey of entrepreneurship and understand what it means to be a business owner, yet keeping it strong and being lively, doing this business that they love. We're here to share our stories, inspire other people, and make impact. And my guest today on the show is Susie Flynn. Susie Flynn is a coach who works with personal assistants and executive assistants who helps them turn self-doubt into self-belief and give them a lot of direction and clarity. And as you know, if there is no clarity, there is no transformation. So let's get going. I'm going to give it to Susie now, who will be able to introduce herself well and share our journey with you so far.
Thank you, Jeff.
Please introduce yourself.
Thank you for your welcome. That was lovely. And yeah, spot on with what you were saying. I mean, I was a PA for 22 years. And there's many challenges as working in the corporate world, working as a PA and an EA, an executive assistant. And I know what it can be like, and I know what it can be like to transition from that mindset of being an employee to a business owner. And as you say, yes, I do help PAs and executive assistants go from self-doubt into believing in themselves. It is, I think we start to form beliefs about ourselves when we're in our childhood. We're in our sort of pre-conscious years up to about the age of 6 or 7. We look at what's happening around us. We hear what people say to us, and we create a meaning at that time. And that meaning may be a positive or a negative meaning. But then whatever it is, whether it's positive or negative, we continue to look in the world for the evidence to support that belief, so that when we grow and get to adult stage, we have carried these beliefs with us for many, many years, and it becomes part of our programming, part of our conditioning. So then it becomes really difficult when you want to break out of the norm and do something different, such as go from being an employee to being a business owner, especially if you've been doing it for a long time. So I help my clients get clear on what they want, what they don't want. And as you said about clarity, if you're not clear on what you want, then it's really hard to achieve. You wouldn't walk out your front door not knowing where you're going. You'd be clear on your destination. And it's the same from, the transition from employee into business owner. So yeah, I help with the mindset. I help people get clear on what they want, get focused on their passion, their purpose, and just to step into that with more confidence.
Thank you so much, Susie. As you know, today we're talking about transformational action planning tips to help you grow your business. And Susie has been doing this a long time ago. She's growing a business and helping other people transform, their lives into what they want, from where they're going to where they want to be. Okay. So Susie, when exactly does this journey begin? Your business journey?
It's an interesting one because I don't think there's one specific time that it began. There's been many, I sent you some details before today's live, but there's been many different points in my life. But one pivotal moment in my life, which I only really revisited on a sort of subconscious level a little while ago, was a memory from age 7. And I remember it really clearly, like it was yesterday. And my dad's dad, my grandfather, he'd had a heart attack. And I remember putting the blanket up, making him all comfortable, giving him a glass of water, and just really, really caring, looking after someone else. And he didn't acknowledge me. He didn't say thank you, nothing. But I knew in that moment, I knew for certain that I wanted to help people. But I was too young to understand what that meant, what it looked like. And I didn't understand my grandfather's reaction. Fast forward many, many years later, I understood that I created a belief at the time that it was difficult to receive because I didn't receive thanks or anything. But also in that moment, I knew that I wanted to help others. When I was 37, I lost both my parents in 2013. Quite a pivotal year. I was suffering from depression, stress, and anxiety. My employer put me through a disciplinary for poor performance shortly after my mum died, which was very, very difficult. I was also doing my degree in psychology. Anyway, my dad died in the November, and I signed myself off sick with depression, and that was quite a catalyst moment for me. It was. I guess it was sort of the moment where I knew that something had to change, that I couldn't go on in the corporate world doing something that didn't fill me with joy. I couldn't go on being treated. That was just one example, but having that happen to me or being made redundant, I knew that I had a bigger purpose. And it was actually my dad's neighbour who told me about the coaching academy and that they have two-day free event. So I was like, okay. I went along. I had the money. I signed up on the day, and I never looked back. Since then, I've done other trainings, and it's just been so transformational. I've had so many different life experiences, from being bullied at school to having lack of self-belief in myself, lack of confidence, to being this really strong, determined, resilient woman because of the life experiences that I've had. And I'm so grateful for them in a way, although they were challenging, because they've made me who I am. And I think if I hadn't had that, I wouldn't be where I am, and I wouldn't be happy with people I am. So.
Oh, that is wonderful. We have so many things in common, you see, because I started coaching, through the coaching academy, going to the two-day event and then enrolling into the program proper, and then being bullied in school, all these things. So I really do. And I know there are a lot of people who have gone through different stages and getting that into their adulthood, into their work life, who are not able to voice their ideas, or not able to stand for themselves. And these are the people you help. You help them to transform, their self-doubts into strong self-beliefs. Wonderful. So considering all the moments, the challenges you've gone through yourself. So what has been the key factor that's kept you going, in your business? What was the mindset?
I think, first of all, it was wanting to make my parents proud. I'd been a PA. I mean, another pivotal moment was when I was sort of 16, and my dad said to me, 2 years education, then out to work. Before I knew it, I was sort of secretary, PA, worked my way up. I was too young to know what I wanted to do. And I'd been doing it for about 20 years at the time, maybe just under 20 years at the time of my parents' death. And I always knew I wanted to do more. I wanted to be more. I wanted to have more. I felt like I had a deeper meaning and a deeper purpose. And my motivation was that although my parents aren't here, I mean, they're here in spirit, they're here in my heart. I wanted to make them proud. I wanted to leave a legacy for them. And also it kind of relates to my days at school, which you'll relate to, Mutiat, in that being bullied can really affect your self-esteem. It can affect how you think about yourself. And for a long time, I used to think I was, not particularly intelligent, not particularly attractive. I don't anymore, by the way. And I never want anyone else to think like that. And I never want anyone else just to fall into a job because they felt like that was all they could do, or that's their capabilities. I truly believe that we should live with passion and not regret, and follow our dreams. So I've just, from the life experiences I've had, I'm a very determined person. I've become very resilient, and having had some experiences in my life which I would have chosen rather not to have, it's allowed me to think about what I don't want and really, what do I want? And I think a lot of people do focus on what they don't want, what's not going well, etc. But it's time for us to stop and think, what do we want? And that is where the mind monkey comes in, all the self-doubt. And that's why I help people. We reprogram the subconscious mind, and we start to reframe it so that people can start improving how they think and feel about themselves, because it really affects so much of what we do and who we become.
Right. Yeah, what we're talking about is transformation, transformational action planning tips. So when we talk about transformation, it's really, really huge. What moments, what happens to people that's going to make them want transformation? For example, your specific client, what would happen to a person that will make them want transformation or
You have
change?
to reach a certain point in your life where there's more pain than there is pleasure, because people will always seek out pleasure over pain. But when you get to a point in your life, like I did when I lost my parents, I had the disciplinary, I was going through the mental health issues, I had so much pain in my life. It was a catalyst moment because I needed to get rid of that pain. So I started to do something about it. So that is when transformation happens. When there's so much pain, the pain outweighs the pleasure, and you go, I can't go on like this. I need to do something. That's when the transformation starts to happen.
So, your particular client groups, how do you help them to take those action steps that's going to help them, to become transformed, to get them from where they were that they didn't want to be to where they want to be actually?
It's a good question, and it's not sort of a straightforward one session, cure. I mean, I offer packages of 3, 6, or 9 months packages for real deep transformation. But one of the first things I really like to do with my clients is to really explore their values. And get them to really understand what's important to them. And it's quite interesting because when I work with clients, sometimes clients say to me the other day, what's a value? People don't understand always what a value is, or they don't understand their values. But when we get clear on our values, what's important to us, we can then start to align it with our goals. We get a clearer idea. We get more focus and more clarity on what we want because we know what's important to us. So that's probably the first step. Steps beyond that is creating, really realistic, achievable, time-bound goals. You're using the SMART acronyms, making them specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And really just breaking down the goals. I love the phrase, how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. Because goals can be really big and really scary and overwhelming. And if you have a big goal in front of you and it's too much, it's too big, you won't do anything. You'll procrastinate. So we need to break it down. We need to chunk it down. We need to go, what's the first step we are going to take to achieve the bigger end goal? So it's just really breaking it down. And some of the tips and tools that I like to work with goals is something my mentors taught me is instead of just having a target, so say I want to have, 4 coaching consultations a month, you'd have what's called a minimum, a target, and a mind blower. Because if you go, I've got to reach 4 a month and you don't reach it, it's a little bit disappointing. It can be a little bit demoralizing. If you have a minimum of, say, 2, a target of 4, and a mind blower of 6, you typically get to fit into one of those areas. So it gives you more motivation. It helps you feel better. So that's one of my tips. Another thing I'd say is definitely write down your goals. If you don't write them down, they're just a dream. Write them down. Tell other people. Get them to hold you accountable. Tell as many people as you can. And what I like to do is get a sticky note, stick it on the mirror, on the window, on the fridge door, everywhere. Because by seeing it all the time, you start to reprogram your brain. Like I have a goal on my as a screensaver on my phone, like what I want my target income to be and by what date. And the more and more I see it, the more and more my brain starts to believe it because it doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination.
Thank you so very much, Susie. And thanks to our viewers. Thank you so very much, Deborah. And thanks to, oh, my dad's watching. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so we are on the Tell and Grow Your Business show where business owners have stories to tell and impacts you make. And we're talking today about the transformational action planning tips to help you grow your business. As you know, on this show, our main clients, our main targets, main viewers are people who want to grow their business. Even when they're not watching that, I'm sure they're going to watch on the replay. Okay, what are the action tips, action planning tips that they can begin to take? Most of them are looking to excel their business, scale their business, and actually succeed as business owners, what are the action tips they can begin to take so that, they can get where they want to get and in good time, to avoid the stress and the frustration that comes with having your business?
I think it's not just about action tips, it's also about mindset. So I think we can get very much into paralysis, into this need to be perfect, like we were talking about before our live started. It is about progress over perfection. So just taking consistent action every single day. As I said, having someone that's going to hold you accountable, whether it's, someone you talk to once a week or you just share it with your partner, but someone that's going to help you check in with you to see how you're doing. Also set goals. So don't just write a goal down and go, that's it, but set a weekly goal, a monthly goal, a quarterly goal, and an annual goal. And every week, month, quarter, and year, check in with their goals and figure out, well, did I achieve it? And if I did, then celebrate. Because celebrating is really important to, celebrate the success of achieving your goals. And if you haven't, just explore it and delve a little bit deeper and figure out, well, what went wrong? Why didn't I achieve the goal? Was it too big? Was it not clear enough? Was it unrealistic? But set them up in your diary and get really, really clear on what your goals are. So I have a spreadsheet with my goals on. So, weekly, monthly, quarterly. And each week I colour code it. So it's minimum, target, and mind blower. So, the more sort of green or purple, which is target or mind blower, the more my brain registers those colours, and it just gives you more positivity, a greater sense of achievement. And I think it's really also important to remember how far you've come. Even if you haven't achieved everything you want to achieve, remember how far you've come. Often we look back at what we haven't achieved, but we don't look at what we have achieved. So I think it's really important in terms of goal setting to remember what we have achieved in the past sort of week, month, year. So a good way to do that is to have a little diary over maybe the course of a week or a month and write down all the achievements, no matter how small or large they are. And then at the end of the week or month, read them back. And it's quite astonishing. And that will help you motivate yourself and continue to push forward with your goals and push forward in your business. So hopefully that helps.
Oh, sure, yeah. You were talking about mindset. How does mindset affect our goals, affect, achieving our goals, as well as success and, the transformation that we eventually achieve? How does mindset affect all of these things?
Let me just put my laptop charger in so it's run out. But actually, I thought it would be enough. So is that how does mindset
affect, transformation, the goals that we get to achieve in our business? How does the mindset that we have, how does it affect the success that we come to know in our business?
I think mindset is everything, if I'm honest. And I remember when I was 15, it was just before I was going to do my GCSEs. And I remember really clearly the headmaster saying to us, if you think you're going to do badly, you'll do badly. If you think you're going to do well, you'll do well. And it really sat with me. I thought, you know what, it's got a point. Because what you focus on persists. And if you start thinking, oh, I'm not going to do very well, I'm not going to be a success in my business, then you're telling yourself a story. And again, that is going into your subconscious mind. And then you act in a way to manifest that effectively. So it is all about thinking, because what you think and feel affects what action you do, what behaviour you have, what action you take, and the outcomes. So if you think, yes, I've got this opportunity, I am capable, I can do this, then you're much more likely to succeed if you start thinking, no, I can't do it. And it's also the difference between having a fixed mindset, like that's it, my skill level is capped here, I can't learn anymore, then you're not going to make the effort to learn more. Whereas with a growth mindset, and you believe that you can continue to do your training, you can learn, you can be a better version of yourself, then you will be motivated to take the action and move forward with that positive, empowering mindset. I didn't always used to have a positive mindset, Mutiat. I used to have this little piece of paper which I printed off my printer and I cut it out, and it was don't want to swear, but well, I will. It was just like, life is shit and then you die. It was something really depressing. And that's my mindset at the time in my 20s. And I can tell you right now that I wasn't a really positive, happy person in my mid-20s, because that's what I was telling myself. And now I don't believe that at all. I think that we make our own opportunities in life. So it is so much about what we think and feel. It really does affect our outcome. And there's so many books about it. I really think it's so important to really start to notice our thoughts every day. Like, just get a book, make a few notes, just as they come up, because we obviously have thousands of thoughts every day. But just make a few notes of thoughts that you become aware of, and start to notice the pattern. What are you telling yourself? Like, it's interesting because the things that we say to ourselves, like, oh, I'm not good enough, you should have done better, that was a really stupid thing to do, whatever. We wouldn't say that to a 5-year-old child, so why do we say it to ourselves? So that little exercise is a really good way to sort of become more aware as to what stories we're telling ourselves, and to start to change our mindset and to change it to more positive things. So get the list and write next to the negative things how you want to feel it in a positive statement, and reframe it and change the way you think of it.
It's a really powerful one. That's a really, really powerful one. So changing our mindset, or having a positive mindset, how do you think it impacts on the results we get in our business?
I think it impacts massively. I think, I think as sort of, as I said earlier, if you think you can do it, then you'll put yourself out there more, you'll take more of a chance. Or, if I had the mindset of like, oh, I couldn't speak to Mutiat and do this live, I'm not a good enough coach, then I would be sitting here watching Netflix. Okay. But I didn't have that mindset. I had the mindset that, yes, I can do this. Yes, I'm a credible coach. So I think, mindset is really, really powerful. And it does affect the outcome of your business and your personal life in so many different areas. So if you start telling yourself that you can't do something and you have a negative mindset and that you won't even bother trying, then how are you going to move forward? You have to take consistent action every day to move forward. And it does start with a more positive mindset. And I'm really good at reframing things. So when I have a bad day, the other day I was having a bit of a bad day, a bit upset, and I started thinking, wait a minute, I'm having a bad day because I'm focusing on all the things that are going wrong, all the things that I don't, not all the things, but some of the things that I don't like in my life. And I took up time out and I thought, you know what, I need to switch how I think. I need to switch my mindset. So I said, well, what's good about today? What's good about my life? I was with some beautiful dogs, I was out in the sunshine. And as soon as I did that mindset shift, my mood changed. I felt better. I felt more positive. It's just as simple as changing how you think. It really is. But it's not something that we do that easily or that consciously, because our thoughts just become second nature to us. We don't really pay attention to what we're telling ourselves. But when we do, we can change our language patterns, and that's when things can change in all areas of our life, and of course in business as well.
Well done. Thank you so very much. That's really, really powerful. Okay. I know that a lot of people will come to watch this live, in due course, will be business owners who want to make that success that you've made, who want to take that step higher in order to achieve their dreams and their purpose for which they started a business. What one word would you have for them? What advice would you have for them to help them begin to either change their mindset or take the action they need to take so as to get to where they want to go and transform their business and their lives?
Probably a few words. Let's say determination. Just determination. It's got me so far. And never, ever, ever give up on your dream. Doesn't matter what other people think. It's your life. It's your dream. Give it a go. And if it doesn't work, you've tried. Okay? Don't listen to the naysayers. This is your life. This is one life. Follow your passion. Live with passion, not regret. And do what sets your heart on fire. And don't, just don't be afraid. Just go for it, because the other side of fear is, joy. Just go for it. Just go for it. And you can at least say you've tried.
Yeah. That's it. Well done. I mean, Determination. Be determined to make a success of whatever you're putting your heads into, whatever you're doing. Determination, and don't listen to the naysayers.
I'd also say keep the end in mind. So when you do have those bad days, which we will all have, especially as business owners, because we're trying to juggle so much, keep the end in mind. Get clear on what is your why. Why is it you're doing what you're doing? Like me, I'm passionate about helping others believe in themselves. Having come from a place of complete self-doubt, complete lack of confidence, thinking I was stupid and unintelligent, not thinking that at all now. But, and I'm not saying people necessarily think to that extreme, but I want people to truly believe in themselves, to fulfill their potential and know that anything is possible if they, if they believe in it enough. And just to follow their dreams, have the end goal in mind when you have those tough days. And you know what? Be kind to yourself. Just be kind to yourself. If you need to order takeaways, click on Netflix, do it. Just do it.
That's a really good one. Well done. Thank you so very much for sharing these wonderful, wonderful tips. So, Susie, I know that you deal with the PAs and the EAs specifically. However, as a business owner who's gone through all the storms yet making it happen, taking these huge, great strides in your business and being this successful in your business, what gifts do you have for us? And when I say what gifts do you have, what do you have that people who are going to watch this program will benefit? Do you have promos on your programs? Do you have gifts for us? Do you have resources? Whatever. What do you have that people who actually need this will, benefit from?
Well, I've just brought out a new £99 offer. It's really, really simple. It's £99. It's an hour one-to-one with me via Zoom. You get the recording afterwards, and we're going to get really clear on how to shift your mindset, how to change your thinking from being that fearful employee and the what ifs that come with, or what if I jump and I don't have enough money. We will start to reframe that, start getting the client to think in a more positive, empowering way, instill more self-belief, and really work on an action plan with them. It doesn't need to be detailed, but just something they can work towards for the next 12 months. So they've got goals, that they've got actions they can take each month, that they can follow a process and start to move forward. So it's going to be 1 hour, a lot of listening to what's going on for them, really understanding what's going on for them, sharing my own experience of how I've got to where I am, and sharing my challenges, my pitfalls, the mistakes I made, so that I can help them overcome at least some of the obstacles which I've had to face, because I've learned as I've gone along, and help them set their goals and create a more empowering mindset, so they have the self-belief that yes, they can do it, because they absolutely can. They absolutely can. Anyone can. Sometimes you just need the right support.
That's it. Thank you so very much. So, yeah, people can connect with you via the comments or the descriptions that we'll be leaving, at the end of the live. Yes.
Yeah, a lot on LinkedIn. So if people want to find me on LinkedIn, it's just Susie Flynn. So SUZIE FLYNN. My £99 offer is up there. Or they can contact me on LinkedIn. I have my website, which is susieflynn.com as well. Or they can email me at susie@susieflynn.com.
Thank you so very much, Susie. It's been really, really wonderful. So all our viewers, be determined to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself and follow through with your goals. Do not give up, and do not listen to naysayers, people bringing you down, because if you do, you're going to have yourself to blame. As Susie said, change your belief, your self-doubt, and change it into something that's a lot more empowering. Remember, thoughts are things. I love that. Thoughts are things. Until we become conscious of the thoughts that we think, the things that go on in our mind, and begin to take control, we probably will not have the change and transformation that we need. Thank you so very much, Susie. That's so empowering. Any last words before we close it down? I said, any last words before we close?
Sorry, no, you're talking to people in the chat box. No, I just think, what I said before, be kind to yourself, or you will have bad days. If you need to have a cry, get it out your system. If you need to just curl up under the covers and watch Netflix and order pizza, do that. Just be kind to yourself, but remember, you are so amazing. You are far more amazing than you think you are. You have so much potential. If you don't believe in yourself, I 110% do. And love to you all, basically. Yeah.
That's it. Thank you so very much. And that's it on this episode of the Tell and Grow Your Business show. It's been wonderful having Susie. I thank you again for coming on the show. And when you watch the program on replay, please leave your comments or your questions. If you do want to contact Susie straight away, she's given all the details. We're going to leave comments on this live. Once we get done with it, we're going to leave comments so you can contact Susie straight away directly with your questions or whatever you want to ask Susie. Thank you so very much, everyone who's watched and made it possible for us. Until next time, I'm Mutiat Adeboale, and from you, Susie.
I'm Susie Flynn. I'm a mindset and energy coach, helping you escape the 9 to 5 and live with passion and purpose.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.